In a matter of weeks, this might be a thing of the past for those aged over 70. In its attempts to mitigate some of the impact of coronavirus, the government will tell those who are vulnerable they have to self-isolate, potentially for months. It is a major ramping up of the government's plans, and the Health Secretary today admitted it was a considerable escalation.
The shielding of vulnerable people and the elderly, who are the most affected by this virus, that is in our plan, but we don't want to say that people need to do that until the time is right, because it's clearly a very significant intervention, and keeping that in place would need to be for some time.
The government's plans were criticised by Jeremy Corbyn.
We're suffering a pandemic. It's very, very serious, and the government just seems to be complacent and behind the wheel on this, and they're giving advice that is different to that given in almost every other European country. This is something strange.
Charities for older people have said help will be needed if millions are forced to self-isolate.
It's not surprising that people are worried and anxious, and particularly if they're already feeling vulnerable, perhaps they're not very well themselves. And it's the length of time, I think, that is going to be taking a lot of people aback. And of course, what that means is we're going to have a proper local infrastructure to support those people.
In Sunderland, the attendance at church today was lower than usual, but not everyone aged over 70 in the congregation agreed that they need to be quarantined.
To be self-isolated seems a bit strange if you don't feel any of the conditions which they're talking about.
If you've got to do it, you do it. If you've got to do things that's properly for the church and for everybody around about you, you know.
But that's just one of the measures the government confirmed that they are considering using. Others include potentially buying private hospital beds, also boosting NHS capacity by turning hotels into temporary hospitals, and manufacturers will be asked to build life-saving ventilators. Construction giant JCB today said the Prime Minister had approached them and that they were willing to do whatever it takes to help. With the government expected to push through the legislation to give them significant powers to tackle coronavirus, the measures are likely to have a major impact on people's normal routines.